Look, I need to set something straight right off the bat. Everyone thinks they know what marriage is supposed to be, but they're living in some fantasy world. I've been married to Logan for 25 years. And let me tell you something. The only reason we're still together and happy is because I figured out how to get what I need without destroying what we have. People are so naive about how relationships actually work. I'm Whitney. I'm 48, and I run a successful clothing resale business from home. Logan works in finance. He's always been brilliant with money, which is exactly why I married him. Don't get me wrong. I love the man, but love isn't enough to sustain a marriage. You need compatibility in every area, and when you don't have it, you find creative solutions. That's what separates successful marriages from the divorce statistics. Our daughter Madison caught me twice over the years, once when she was 16 and skipped school, another time when she was 20 and spotted me at dinner with Evan. Both times, I explained to her that this is how the real world works. Adults make adult decisions to protect their families. She's never told her father because she understands that some truths would destroy more than they'd heal. That's maturity. Logan thinks he has the perfect wife. I never turn him down when he wants intimacy. I manage our household flawlessly. I support his career, and I put every penny I earn into his investment accounts. He handles all our finances because he's genuinely gifted at growing wealth. I handle everything else because I'm gifted at managing people and situations. It's a partnership that works. The thing is, Logan has always been adequate in bed. He's gentle. He's loving, but he lacks that primal intensity that I crave. 3 times a week, he's satisfied. Once a week, he gets more passionate. But it's still not enough for me. I need that raw, animalistic energy every single time, and I need it more often. So I have arrangements with 2 married men and 1 single guy who gives me exactly what Logan can't. I've gone on girls' trips that were actually vacations with these men. I've had Zumba classes that were hotel meetings. I've spent weekends at mom's house that were actually passionate getaways. Logan has never questioned any of it because I've never given him reason to doubt me. I'm home when I say I'll be home. I'm attentive to his needs. And I never let my outside activities interfere with our family life. This isn't about not loving Logan. It's about loving him enough to make sure he never has to face the reality that he can't satisfy me completely. I protect his ego. I protect our marriage. And I get my needs met. Everyone wins. The people who think this makes me a bad person are the same people who end up divorced because they can't handle the complexities of long-term relationships. Between us, I know exactly what I'm doing. I've perfected this system over years of trial and error. Logan gets a devoted wife who never says no, never complains, and always puts his needs first. What he doesn't know about my Tuesday afternoon errands or my weekend spa trips doesn't hurt him. In fact, it helps him because I come home refreshed and satisfied instead of frustrated and resentful. The first time Madison caught me, she came home early from school with her friends. I was with Devin in our bedroom. Logan was away on a business trip, and I thought I had the house to myself. Devin and I had been seeing each other for about 2 years at that point. He was married with kids, so we both understood the importance of discretion. Madison walked in and started yelling from the doorway about how I was betraying her father. Her friends were standing there in shock. Devin got angry because he couldn't finish, and he actually cursed in front of Madison and her friends before storming out. I never saw him again after that. You don't disrespect my daughter in my house. I sat Madison and her friends down and explained the reality of adult relationships. I told them that most of their parents probably had similar arrangements. Whether they knew it or not, marriage is about partnership, stability, and family, not just physical satisfaction. I explained that our family was strong and happy, precisely because I handled my needs responsibly instead of letting frustration build up and destroy our home. Madison's friend Roger was incredibly rude, saying I stunk and he'd rather wait to eat at home. I went upstairs to shower while they hung out in the basement, but I could tell Madison was processing what I'd said. She's always been mature for her age. The second time was 4 years later. I was having dinner with Evan. He's single, 10 years younger than me, and he's been trying to convince me to leave Logan for years. I only agreed to go out because Logan was out of town, and we were in a completely different part of the city. But Madison spotted us anyway. She approached our table demanding to know what I was doing. When I said we were just having dinner, she threatened to tell her father. That's when I had to be completely direct with her about the physical relationship. She kept her word about not telling Logan, but she begged me to stop. Then Madison asked me the question that still haunts me sometimes. She asked if Logan was really her father. The truth is, I'm not entirely sure. There was some overlap in timing 22 years ago. Madison looks exactly like me and doesn't really resemble Logan much. But I told her, of course, Logan was her father. Some questions are better left unasked and unanswered. What people don't understand is that I never turn Logan down. I'm available whenever he wants me. I take care of his every need. The fact that I also take care of my own needs doesn't diminish what I give him. It enhances it. I'm a better wife because I'm fulfilled, not frustrated. Look, I've perfected this system over the years. I have 3 men who meet different needs. Evan is young and eager. Caleb is experienced and dominant. And I recently started seeing someone new after Devin left the picture. They're all clean. They're all discreet. And they all understand the boundaries. Logan never questions my schedule because I've never given him reason to. When I say I'm going to Zumba, I go to Zumba. Sometimes, when I say I'm visiting my mother, I visit my mother. Sometimes, the key is mixing truth with fiction so seamlessly that there's never a pattern to catch. I put every dollar I earn from my business into Logan's investment accounts. I don't hide money or spend it on my affairs. These men take care of the hotel costs because they're getting something valuable from me, too. I'm not some sugar baby or kept woman. I'm a married woman who's found a way to have everything she wants without destroying what she's built. Logan manages our finances brilliantly. He's turned our investments into serious wealth over the years. I married him because he was stable and could provide for a family, but I had no idea he'd become as successful as he has. Every woman wants security, and Logan has given me that in spades. The physical side of our marriage was disappointing from day one. Our first time together was terrible. He was too gentle, too careful, too focused on being sweet instead of passionate. I knew then that I'd need to find that intensity elsewhere. But I also knew Logan had everything else I wanted in a husband. Some people might call this selfish, but I call it practical. I could have divorced Logan years ago and put Madison through that trauma. I could have tried to change Logan into something he's not and made him miserable. Instead, I found a solution that keeps everyone happy and our family intact. The religious people will say I'm sinning, but everyone picks and chooses what they want to follow anyway. Logan and I attend church regularly. We're pillars of our community, and we've raised a daughter who's going to be a successful lawyer. Our marriage looks perfect from the outside because it is perfect. I've made sure of that. Here's what really gets me. People act like I'm being dishonest with Logan, but I'm protecting him from a truth that would devastate him. He thinks he's satisfying me completely, and that makes him confident and happy. If I told him the truth about his performance, it would destroy his self-esteem and probably our marriage. Instead, I handle my needs privately, and he gets to feel like the perfect husband. I mean, look at the alternative. I could be one of those bitter wives who complains constantly about not being satisfied. I could make Logan feel inadequate and unwanted. I could let my frustration poison our entire relationship. Instead, I take responsibility for my own happiness and keep our home peaceful and loving. After I shared my story publicly, something pushed me to do some investigating of my own. Maybe it was all the comments saying Logan would never cheat. Or maybe it was just curiosity. I started paying closer attention to his habits. His phone, his schedule. That's when I discovered Logan's iPad, and everything I thought I knew about my marriage fell apart. Logan has a girlfriend. Her name is Sophia. She lives in Ohio, and they've been together for over a year. They talk on Instagram. They video chat, and he's flown her here multiple times. He puts her up in nice hotels and spends entire weekends with her while I think he's working. She's 29 years old, 19 years younger than me. She just graduated from Ohio State and works as an interior designer. She's got that fresh-faced look that younger women have, but I know she'll never replace me. I've been Logan's wife for 25 years. I've built this life with him. The thing that stings isn't that he's cheating. It's that I genuinely didn't think he had it in him. Logan always calls me perfect, always acts like he's completely satisfied with our life. Why would he need someone else if he has everything he wants at home? But then I started thinking about it more rationally. Men cheat more than women. That's just statistics. I shouldn't be surprised that Logan found someone to meet whatever needs I'm not meeting. The difference is, I've been smart about it for 25 years. Logan's being sloppy, leaving digital trails, getting emotionally involved. I have Sophia's address. I know where she works. I could easily drive to Ohio and confront her, but I'm not sure what that would accomplish. She probably doesn't even know Logan is married. Men lie to their mistresses all the time. The question now is whether I confront Logan or not. Part of me wants to throw his hypocrisy in his face. He's been playing the devoted husband while having his own side piece. But another part of me realizes that if I confront him, he might start asking questions about my own activities. This changes the dynamic of everything. I thought I was the one with secrets, the one managing multiple relationships. Turns out Logan's been doing the same thing, just not as skillfully as me. Between us, I felt something I hadn't felt in years, genuine betrayal. Not because he was cheating, but because he was being so stupid about it. All those Instagram messages, all those hotel receipts on his credit card statements that I could have seen if I'd been paying attention. He was taking risks that could have exposed both of us. I decided to confront Logan, but not about Sophia directly. Instead, I started asking subtle questions about his business trips, his late nights at the office, his weekend client meetings. I wanted to see if he'd lie to my face the way I'd been lying to his. He did, every single time, so I laid it all out. I told him I knew about Sophia, about the hotels, about the Instagram messages. I expected him to be ashamed, to apologize, to beg for forgiveness like men do when they get caught. Instead, Logan just stared at me for a long moment and said, "How long have you known about Evan?" My stomach dropped. He knew he'd known for who knows how long, and he'd been playing the same game I was playing. We'd been lying to each other for years, both thinking we were protecting the other from the truth. That's when everything came out. Logan told me he'd known about my affairs for at least 5 years. He'd hired a private investigator after noticing inconsistencies in my stories. He knew about the hotel meetings, the fake girls' trips, all of it. "So why didn't you say anything?" I asked him, "Same reason you didn't say anything about Sophia until now." He said, "I thought we had a good thing going." But then Logan said something that changed everything. The difference is Whitney. I fell in love with her. That's when I realized this wasn't just about physical needs anymore. Logan wasn't just having an affair. He was planning to leave me for this girl. He'd been building a relationship with her, while I'd been managing casual arrangements. "Are you leaving me?" I asked. "I've been thinking about it," he said. "Sophia wants me to divorce you and move to Ohio. She doesn't know about my affairs before her, and she thinks you and I are just roommates at this point." I felt something I hadn't felt in years, genuine fear. Not fear of being alone, but fear of losing everything I'd built. The house, the financial security, the social status, the comfortable life I'd created. "What about Madison?" I asked. "Madison's an adult. She'll understand that people grow apart." But I knew Madison wouldn't understand. She blamed me for destroying our family, even though Logan was the one talking about leaving. The truth is, I never expected Logan to fall in love with someone else. Physical affairs are one thing. They're about needs and satisfaction. Emotional affairs are something completely different. They're about replacing your spouse, not supplementing them. Logan moved out 3 weeks later. Not to some temporary arrangement. He moved directly to Ohio to be with Sophia. He'd been planning this for months, maybe longer. He'd already arranged for a transfer with his company, already found a place to live, already started building a new life without me. The divorce papers arrived a month after that. Logan wasn't asking for alimony or trying to take my business. He was being generous with the settlement, but he was also being final. There was no discussion, no counseling, no attempt to work things out. Madison was furious with both of us, but especially with me. "You taught me that cheating was normal." She said, "You told me this was how marriages work, but Dad's leaving anyway." I tried to explain that Logan's situation was different, that he'd fallen in love with someone else while I'd just been meeting physical needs. But Madison wasn't hearing it. "You're both liars," she said, "and now our family's destroyed because neither of you could just be satisfied with what you had." The worst part was watching Logan's transformation. Within 8 months of moving to Ohio, he looked like a completely different person. He'd lost weight, updated his wardrobe, and seemed genuinely happy in a way I hadn't seen in years. Sophia posted pictures of them together, traveling, doing activities, looking like some perfect couple. I tried dating, but it felt pointless. The men I'd been seeing during my marriage weren't interested in a real relationship with a divorced woman. They'd wanted the excitement of an affair, not the responsibility of a girlfriend. Evan kept pushing for something serious, but the dynamic was all wrong now. What had been thrilling as a secret affair felt desperate and needy as my only option. My business started suffering because I couldn't focus. The house felt too big and too empty. I'd built my entire adult life around being Logan's wife, and without that identity, I didn't know who I was supposed to be. The final blow came when Madison told me she was moving to Ohio too. She'd gotten a job offer at a law firm there, and she wanted to be closer to her father. She didn't say it directly, but I knew she was also choosing sides. "This isn't my fault," I told her. "Your father is the one who left. He's the one who chose someone else over our family." "Mom," Madison said, "you've been choosing other people over our family for my entire life." Dad just finally decided to do the same thing. That hit me harder than anything else she could have said, because deep down, I knew she was right. I'd been putting my own needs first for 25 years, telling myself I was protecting our family, when really I was just protecting myself from having difficult conversations or making hard choices. 15 months later, Logan married Sophia in a small ceremony that Madison attended, but I wasn't invited to. They bought a house together, and from what I can see on social media, they look genuinely happy. Logan posts pictures of them cooking together, working in their garden, taking weekend trips. He looks relaxed and content in a way I don't remember him ever looking with me. I'm still in our old house, still running my business, still trying to figure out how everything fell apart so quickly. I did everything I thought was right. I kept my affairs separate from my marriage. I never let them interfere with my family life. I protected Logan from truths that would have hurt him. But apparently, Logan didn't want to be protected. He wanted something real. Something I'd never been able to give him because I was too busy managing my own needs to focus on building something genuine with him. Fine. Yeah, I cheated on Logan for 25 years. But he pushed me to it by being boring in bed and never trying to be more passionate. I found ways to stay satisfied so I could be a good wife to him. And this is how he repays me. By falling in love with some young girl and abandoning everything we built together. People keep telling me I should feel guilty, that I should take responsibility for destroying my marriage. But the truth is, Logan destroyed it just as much as I did. He's the one who fell in love with someone else. He's the one who left. He's the one who chose to blow up our family instead of working on what we had. Look, I'm not perfect. I made choices that some people would judge. But I was trying to make the best of a situation where my husband couldn't meet all my needs. I found a way to stay married, keep our family together, and be happy. Logan's the one who decided that wasn't enough. He's the one who wanted some fairy tale romance instead of the practical partnership we had. Now I'm alone in this house, watching my ex-husband live his best life with his young girlfriend while my daughter barely speaks to me. Madison acts like I'm the one who destroyed our family, but I was just trying to survive in a marriage that wasn't giving me what I needed. The worst part is that Logan seems genuinely happy now. He's got this whole new life in Ohio with Sophia, and from what I can see, they're perfect together. She probably thinks he's amazing in bed because she doesn't know any better. She's young and inexperienced and thinks his gentle, boring approach is romantic instead of inadequate. I mean, good for them, I guess. Logan finally found someone who appreciates his particular brand of vanilla intimacy, and Sophia gets a financially stable older man who treats her like a princess. Meanwhile, I'm stuck dealing with the aftermath of a marriage that was never going to work long-term anyway. The truth is, Logan and I were incompatible from the beginning. I just found a way to make it work for 25 years by getting my needs met elsewhere. He could have done the same thing, kept our marriage intact while finding whatever he needed on the side. Instead, he had to go and fall in love and blow up everything we'd built together. So no, I don't feel guilty about the choices I made. I feel angry that Logan couldn't handle the reality of long-term marriage the way I did. I feel frustrated that Madison can't see how hard I work to keep our family together. And I feel bitter that I'm the one left picking up the pieces while everyone else gets to move on and be happy. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend I was wrong for wanting more than what Logan could give me. I'm not going to apologize for finding ways to be satisfied in my marriage. And I'm definitely not going to take the blame for Logan's decision to abandon his family for some young girl who probably won't even be able to handle him once the novelty wears off.